Hello, thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. For this week's read, for the main part of the read, I'm using the Astro Matrix Tarot. Here's the box. And astromatrix.org is the website on the back. Hopefully that'll focus. I don't think there was like a creator. There should have been. I don't know. Either my brain skipped a beat or it's just not there. If you go there and you want the deck, though, go there. I didn't see like a creator. It's just dawning on me now. For the support of Oracle cards, you are Clairvoyant Oracle Cards by Belinda Grace, illustrations by Elaine Marzin. Website on the back here is rockpoolpublishing.com.au, A as an apple, U as an umbrella. I have updated dice. So I have a 22-sided dice I'm going to use for the major arcana. I'm using number 22 as the Fool, so I'm making that adaptation. And I get a 14-sided dice for the minor arcana, and I use a 4-sided dice to choose the element it's going to represent. And mathartfun.com is the website for that one. Hopefully you can see that website if you're interested. Okay, and with that, if you would like a reading from me, shoot me an email. jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information that's below, same email. And let's go on to your read. Hello Pisces. Thank you very much for tuning into this week's read. These readings are valid for whenever you come to them. That being said, what do we have for Pisces? I don't know why that looks strange. Hopefully it doesn't look strange when you see it. I think it's just the way I'm looking at it. Pisces, what do we have for Pisces? Ooh. Somebody you already care about. This does not have to be a romantic relationship. It's just somebody who means a lot to you. Somebody has to tell you the truth. Somebody has to tell you the truth. Okay. Yep, somebody has to tell you the truth. Okay, so there's a relationship here. It means a lot to you. You got this card. It doesn't have to be a romantic relationship, but I do get this relationship maybe at the moment is not as strong as it used to be, or maybe at the moment is not as active as it used to be. Could be somebody from your past that you don't see very often, but you still like. I could think of a boatload of people like that I still like them, I've worked with them, or they used to be friends, I used to see more of them, some relatives even. But it's just the way life has gone, I just don't see them very often. And this might be the same thing for you. But there's something here, there used to be a really good connection here. Somebody you used to enjoy being around, for the most part at least. And there's a chance for something to come forward and things to change. There might be an evolution in your own personality or the way you live life. Maybe you haven't changed as much as you live more authentically to who you want to be versus who other people wanted you to be. You may have upgraded in that sense over the years since you've really been close to this person. And it might be one of those things where there's stress with this. Kind of like, I really like that person, but I lived life a different way. Like maybe you were in a job and you valued that job more than you should have. Or at the time it seemed like it made more sense to value that job in a certain way and you don't do that anymore. Or maybe this is a relationship where, you weren't really sure about certain things in life, so you were just very quiet about certain things. But now you're more in the forward about certain things, about your personality, about what you like. Certain artistic tastes, people you have in your life, maybe certain religious views you have, certain things like that. So I feel like there's a nervous thing here, kind of like the person I was not fully who I am now. I was still discovering who I am. And currently I feel stronger who I am, and I'm not sure if the person from the past that I knew, that other person, is compatible with who I am now. There's a fear of that. Okay. So there has to be like an upgrade in connection here. There has to be. Alright, so let me just roll the dice on this. Because you do have the Tower card coming in, but it's coming in for them. Justice, and then the Ten of Pentacles in question, half in, half out. Justice coming in is kind of like, the Justice is kind of like the truth. Like, we need to deal with the truth. And I'm getting the Tower card here, like, there might be aspects to you that they don't understand. Maybe they just don't realize that you've upgraded beyond. Maybe they know some of who you are now, but they don't know the total story. And maybe that's not something that they align with anymore, or at the moment, or however you want to put it. I feel like you already know that they don't align. In some respect, there's something here that doesn't align, and I feel like that's why that fear is there. It doesn't mean that there can't be an evolution or there can't be a good connection between you and this person. There could be differences that can be worked around or worked past or worked through. I don't know. I don't know if I like the term work around on this one, but, let's see where it goes. Because I'm getting, like, it's a very slow start, but I get that there's a chance where you could come back together with this person. Could it be a past love that maybe, if you're a single person, maybe there was somebody in the past that you dated or were with. Could somebody like that be coming back? Possibly, but I feel like if that's the case, you look at them in that time frame, in that era, and you like them in that era. It does not have to be a romantic thing, though. I just feel like I need to keep putting that in there. Because I see like somebody, there's communication, but it's like with the Pentacles, the Ace of Pentacles, and the Five of Swords, there's not a lot of communication, but there is some communication. It's just not really going very far, very fast. But the Ace of Pentacles does kind of augur that energy of, like, we're starting out slow, we're building slow. It's like building that brick house, one brick at a time. You get a load of bricks, you slowly put them where they need to go. So it's like you get a load of bricks delivered, and it takes you maybe a couple months to put them where they need to go. You get another load of bricks, and you put them where they need to go. And it's just slowly building, slowly getting stronger. Maybe not a livable house for a year or two, but when it gets there, it's going to be very strong. It's going to be what you want. It's just really slow going. That's kind of what I'm getting in the beginning here. So there's a need for a conversation. There's definitely a need for a conversation here. There's the lack of moving it forward, too, I'm seeing. Seven of Pentacles reversed, and the Magician also reversed on the dice. With the Aquarius, that's not Aquarius. I mean, sometimes this talks about Aquarius energy, but this is the Star card. You could be dealing with an Aquarius, you don't have to be. This talks to me about high intellect, people being able to start a conversation without going directly for the quote or directly for the subject, kind of slowly kind of moving it into perspective. It's kind of like, instead of talking about cake, talking about everything around it that kind of leads to it. Kind of like, oh yeah, I have extra eggs, got a bit of sugar, got a party coming up, thinking about what to do about that. That's kind of the energy I get with this card. Kind of like, I'm not talking directly about the cake, but I'm talking about all the components to it and seeing if you just kind of bring it in. See if you're ready to bring it in, kind of letting it come in. That's kind of that energy coming in here. I feel like maybe there's some like feelers in the conversation area, but nobody's biting. It's kind of like fishing and nobody's biting, you know what I mean? Currently that energy is not going anywhere. But it's kind of like, there's advice here of kind of like, you know what, maybe it needs to. We're dragging this out, it doesn't need to be dragged out. The Magician's here, what's the advice? Can we get a little better advice other than you taking this and moving it forward? Because I know sometimes, and I'm a Pisces, I like to say that. Sometimes, especially because I grew up with both my parents were Pisces, Pisces doesn't like to go right for it a lot of times. A lot of times they don't. Page of Cups in question, Judgment in question. I feel like you're willing to kind of like dance around the subject a little bit, which I don't think is bad, because I feel like they know where you want to go with this. And just kind of like, let's see if that kind of goes anywhere. Let's see, like, you'll start saying something and I'll just start bringing something authentic in. And I feel like the energy's just not locking in. It's just not catching. It's just not catching, as the best way I could say. It's just kind of like that fly ball that just hits right next to you. It's just kind of like, poof. It just doesn't hit there. Conversation needs to happen, though. Whatever this is, whoever this is, there is a bigger conversation happening. So it's almost like up to this point, The Ace of Swords is showing up later, but up until that point, it's almost like I'm like seeing somebody for like 5 to 10 minutes, or I'm texting a little bit here and there, or maybe we're on a phone call, but it's not a long phone call. It just seems like it's that type of stuff. This is talking about either a long phone call or getting together face to face, or somehow getting together. I don't think it's a long phone call. It could be, but this is more about, I feel like, having that moment where we can see how each other are. We can get more of that energy. For some of you, this could be like a video call. I feel like it's not a phone call. The reason I would say video call is because you can see the expressions on the other person's face. That's what I'm thinking anyway. So a bigger conversation is coming with this person. I do feel like the direct conversation is going to come forward. What they're warning not to do. Okay, I'm going to do the dice on this too. Because there's a good card here, but they're saying don't do this, because this isn't going to help you. Four of Pentacles reversed, which ironically this is not working. And then the Empress half in, half out, which is kind of like not taking care of yourself, but trying to, but not really putting it in there, letting go of what you want, kind of seeing it the way the other person wants to see it, just kind of letting it be. If you go this direction, and you just kind of like play the get along card, we're just going to get along, doesn't mean that you have to be lying, but it may be just one of those things where I'm just not. Like, the conversation's going to come right to the point. Like, they're going to ask you, or somehow the conversation's going to come up about whatever the point of contention. So if it's religion, if it's something else, it's coming right up. It's coming right there. And I feel like I can kind of, like, answer it, but kind of play it off and change the subject at the same time. So it's kind of like, here's the answer, and let's go on to this other subject. It's almost kind of like making the situation more palatable. They're saying, don't do that. Because I do feel like the truth is going to come forward here. But if you push it forward, or if you just kind of answer it in a roundabout way and let them put their 2 cents in, or let them put their mind together and figure it out when they need to, you're not giving this connection a chance. It's kind of like, why even bother talking to this person if you're not going to really give it a chance? And this is almost saying trying to get along or trying to be too compatible with this energy is not going to work. It's kind of like it's going to be a one-time meeting, and then it's just kind of like one of you, if not both of you, are going to avoid each other after this, and it's just kind of like, why did we bother even trying? It's one of those questions. I mean, the reason we tried is to give it a chance, but it's kind of like by getting along too much, we're failing at it, if that makes sense. Now here's what they're advising, and I'm saying this as a Pisces. I can see where this could be difficult, but this also has the best outcome for you. Putting yourself out there and just kind of like, you know what, this is what it is. This is what it is for me. I'm just going to tell you the truth. I don't feel like you're going to be very brutal with it, but you're just kind of like, this is what it is. I'm just bringing it forward in a way that makes sense. I'm bringing it forward in a way that shows that I'm serious. This is who I am. This is how I live my life now. This is where I stand. And like putting yourself out there and giving it a chance. Like if whoever this person is, if you give them a chance, it doesn't mean they're going to understand. It doesn't even mean they're going to agree right off the bat. But you give them a chance to kind of like deal with it on their own terms. Kind of like, all right, this is who you are. And I feel like there's a level of respect here in the sense of like, well, you were very on the point about it. You were just very upfront about it. So, okay, you're not hiding it clearly, and there's no reason you should. Okay, that's who you are. I feel like that Ten of Swords is here because it's stressful. I feel like it's saying it's hard, so I'm not going to pretend it's not. I don't feel like that's right. I feel like that Ten of Swords is because it's difficult for you and it's stressful. And it's like, I don't know where this is going to go. I feel like if the subject goes bad after that, then it's okay to kind of just move it on to a different arena. So it's kind of like coming right at it, putting it right where you stand. If the conversation doesn't seem to be going in a positive way after that, then talking about something else does seem to be fine because you put it right out there what the issue is. And it's kind of like, all right, we just dealt with it, there it is. They might not be in a place to really constructively talk about it after that, but it's just like being like this is what it is. This is literally what it is. Instead of bringing it around in a roundabout way and making them feel like where they stand is good, putting it out there in the sense of like, this is where I am. I don't know where you stand, but this is where I stand. I hope I'm making sense with this, because I'm like, the way that you would be getting along with somebody too much is kind of like trying to talk to their benefit and trying to make it seem like, well, I understand the way you feel. This is where I stand, but I understand the way you feel. That's not the way to do it. Instead of even going there and even talking about how you think they feel, don't even go there. Just kind of like, well, this is where I stand and this is what it is. And just let them have their reaction. It's a very unnerving way to do it. But it's kind of like, if it doesn't go well at that point, pulling back after that and just letting it lie and just talking about other things is good, as long as that authenticity is already out there. So like, we don't want to like angle the conversation to their benefit. We don't want to do that. We just want to put it out there like, this is what it is. It's like, it's a blue truck. It's a blue truck. I own this truck. And they might have feelings about blue trucks. I'm just trying to make it very generic. Instead of going, oh, you know, I know a lot of people don't like blue, and I can understand how people don't like blue, and some people get really nervous with trucks and they don't like to drive trucks. I can understand that. I can see where people would have adversity with that. I mean, I do have a truck and it is blue, but we don't have to talk about that. Let's move on to something else. That's the bad way to do it. Just kind of like, you know what? I got a blue truck. I got a blue truck, and that's what it is. And just let them have their reaction. Don't build it up as if you already understand why they would feel the way they feel. Don't do that. Just kind of like, got a blue truck. I got a blue truck. That's how it is. And then like, I'm not saying you have to drive. I'm not saying you have to take a ride in my truck. I'm just saying I got a blue truck. I'm not saying I'm going to be parking my truck at your house either. I'm just saying I got a blue truck. But if you don't want my truck at your house, I'm probably not coming to your house either. It's fine. You know what I mean? I feel like I'm making it about the blue truck, but I feel like you understand what I'm saying. There's a moment here where I feel like this person is going to step back. I feel like that's the natural thing. Now, where it evolves after that is a good question, because I get that this person wouldn't even have talked to you if they didn't already like you. So I'm getting like the Ten of Cups coming in with the Death card, where they have to make a decision. Are they willing to really consider who you are and value you for who you are if they want you in their life? They either have to make a hard left and just leave, or they have to be like, you know what? I think I need to get over a couple things. This person's got blue truck energy. I have to figure out a way to live with that blue truck. I feel like I need to accept that like blue's a color and I need to get over it. A truck, people have trucks. This is the world. I'm either going to get over it or move on. One of the two. There's questions. I don't know if they're going to be asking you questions, but there's asking for help and finding a mentor. They might be asking you questions. They might be having conversations with you, maybe. If those questions don't feel good to you, or you don't like the way they're being asked to you, this is an if. Don't answer them, is what I'm getting. If it seems like it's toxic, I'm getting don't answer the questions. If you feel like this is going into a toxic territory, you also have the right to say, you know what, this isn't going to happen. It's not, the power is not all in their hand. It's also in yours. Either you both come together willingly, or if one of you doesn't want to, then it's a no-go. So pay attention to how they're asking questions, because I feel like they might. Pay attention to the energy. If they're coming from a toxic energy, a toxic direction, that may be a hard stop. What we want is like, all right, they have questions. And this is only if you want this person back in your life, of course. They have questions. If you want them back in your life, explain things. Tell them. It's only if you want them back in your life, because they will listen to you and they'll take you seriously. If you really don't care, you don't have to answer the questions, obviously. But if you want this person to come back into your life, I feel like those are questions. The way you answer them and the way you tell them things, you could bring this person back in, is what I'm getting. It's going to take a bit of work on both sides. If you go the direction of like, I don't want to answer that, but you can find it here, read this, read that, it's going to sink it anyway. I would just walk away from it then, because it's not going to work, is what I'm getting, just to be fair. You have a chance for something to come back. There's no guaranteed like this is going to work situation, but there is an external there's some type of change happening after this. Whoever this person is, you seem to set the tone in a very strong way. Because I feel like this is going to become more of a thing. Other people are going to know that this conversation happened, is what I'm getting. And I feel like it's going to bring other things into your life. It's going to have exponential returns, all about the way you handle it. So even if this person's like, you know what, this isn't going to work for me. I can't do this. I can't do blue truck. I can't do it. I don't want it anywhere near me. I don't want it at my house. I don't want to see it. And it's kind of like, well, I have a blue truck. If you can't do that, then okay. You go your way, I'll go my way. But for some reason, it has this exponential return. Other people might have blue trucks in this person's life. And you might be surprised at people who connect with you afterwards. So it's not like you're going to like end up like, I put in that work and I got nothing. It's going to be kind of like, I put in that work, and then all of a sudden I have people showing up in my life, and I'm like, where did they come from? And then you start to hear, like, well, I'm connected to that person, and they were complaining about the blue truck. I have a blue truck too. So that's how it is. Very blue truck. We're very blue truck today. Isn't it fun? I think so. All right. So I think that overall they're saying bringing that energy forward in a strong way and just standing there and just kind of like, this is what it is. This person may or may not become stronger in your life, but there will be an exponential return afterwards to your benefit. So that's the advice. Are we good? All right, I'm going to shut this down here. I hope that helps. Thank you for watching. If you'd like a direct reading from me, shoot me an email, jamesforastral@gmail.com. That's James the number 4, astral@gmail.com. If you're interested in the donation information, that's below, same email. Thank you very much for watching, and have a great day.